But it's Gary's turn.
I'm
All right, well, first of all, let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, Gary.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, review and adoption of the agenda. Now, I believe you have a paper here on your table of an addition. Somebody will make a motion whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda with the amendment.
All in favor? Thank you. Approval of minutes for the June 24th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. Look over those and make a motion when you're ready.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for June 24th, 2024, regular meeting.
All in favor? Public comments?
Everybody signed up.
No public here? Okay. All right, 6, old business, 6A, update on auditorium renovations and construction of Royal Park. Logan has something.
Yeah, just do an official update on kind of where we're at with it. First, we'll start with the auditorium. So we held the pre-bid conference on Thursday, August 8th at 9:30 to review proposed renovations and additions to the Hildebran Auditorium with prospective general contractors. During the review, several changes were discussed regarding the plans and the rear addition and the project specifications. It was a consensus amongst the contractors and the architect to do some slight alterations to drawings. That way all the architects could, or all the contractors were ensured they were bidding apples to apples. Everyone agreed, Bach agreed. So what we ended up doing was pushing the bid date back from August 22nd to September 17th. So I know that's about 3 weeks, but I think we're gonna have more bidders that way. And I think we'll have better pricing doing it that way. So Bach has gotten the drawings sent out as of last week. So they have those. Another thing that they ran into is there's another large project that's being bid out the first week of September. So to ensure we had more contractors, give them at least 2 weeks after that. So they were agreeable with that. The changes were minor changes. One, for example, was the slope on the roof for the addition versus the one that Bach had drawn in with some drainage systems, just some minor changes to help save money. So overall, we ended up having a total of 5 general contractors that came out, stayed through the meeting, and have asked for the updated changes. So we're hopeful to have. We have to have at least 3 on the first round. If we don't, we have to rebid it a second time and then do a second opening. The second opening, we don't have to have 3 bidders. We just have to have 1 open. So we'll see where we stand on September 17th. In terms of Royal Park, so there's some things that have even been done since I wrote this up. But we haven't met since then, so we did have our groundbreaking on the 17th. DDI began construction on July 8th. We were hoping to have around 40 attendees. We ended up at 75, which was nearly double what we were looking at. As of last week, they have demolished the old concession restroom building. They have poured the footers for the stage and have started going vertical with steel framing. They have installed the drain line for the splash pad, began working on footers for the concession and restroom building. They have actually now finished pouring those and are starting to go vertical on it too with the block wall. So they're moving along. They are 95% complete in terms of grading the side. And they are now finishing up replacing the stormwater drains behind the maintenance building and under the concession building. They are also starting on the electrical, or may have finished the electrical underneath the concession building. That's all I got.
Logan, any update on that additional grant?
Yes, so they, we will submit something in September, October. There will not be an official word put out until November, but we'll likely still be in construction, so we'll see where we're at, but we won't know anything official until November.
6B, consider approval of Royal Park change order 0003 to perform work on the breezeway.
So I did include a memo for this, but essentially, the second floor walk area, has a built-in, framing that supports the ceiling below it. The 5 things that they want to do, are included in that review section on attachment 6B. But the first thing they would do is remove that section of framing so that they can access the main joist framing. Remove both the floor ceiling and the second floor ceiling. Both the roof and the second floor walkway have a membrane in it. They propose to replace both levels of the membrane. Finish both the roof level ceiling and the main level ceiling with flat panel fiber cement board and paint. And then regarding the brick on the end wall, have it saw cut for the edges to have a straight edge. And then end cap it with stucco for the entire face inside and out, and then infill the doorways with brick, where we have 2 doorways. The original estimate was going to be $47,000, but instead of using dense glass, they'd like to use wood framing and hardy panels with paint for the ceilings. If we end up doing that, it'll save about $8,000, take the price down from 47 to 39. But what we need from council is this a change order you're looking to do? We'll need a motion and a vote. If you do, it will increase the total cost by $39,000 and some change.
My thing is, if we're gonna do the park, we need to go ahead and clean this up where it looks presentable.
I'll make a motion, we go with 39,000.
To approve it? Okay.
Okay, all in favor? 6C, consider second reading of Code of Ordinances amendment to include urban camping and improper use of public places.
Okay, and we have, the ordinance brought back for a second month in a row. So with this one, because it has a criminal penalty, you cannot officially pass it the first month you have it. So you have to bring it back for a second reading. In terms of what has changed in the ordinance from last meeting, there's nothing. So it's the same ordinance, we just had to bring it back for a second vote due to the North Carolina general statutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the second pass.
All in favor? Thank you. 6D, consider approval of resolution to withdraw the Main Avenue East sidewalk project from the statewide transportation improvement plan.
So as we discussed in prior budget retreats, the projected cost for the Main Avenue East sidewalk project increased from roughly $520,000 to around $800,000. Given the increased cost for both the park and the auditorium, as well as this, council at that time determined that it wasn't feasible to continue moving forward with the Main Avenue East sidewalk project at this time. So we have worked up this resolution to withdraw it from the STIP. So we'll need a motion and vote to approve it.
Yeah, make a motion to withdraw the sidewalk project.
All in favor? 6E, consider approval of funding for professional services to oppose Charlotte Waters interbasin transfer request and budget amendment. So everybody's really upset about this. Every town is chipping in.
Make a motion to approve the participating with the WPCFG project for opposing Charles request.
All in favor? 7, new business. 7A, consider budget for upcoming festival.
With the, before we move on, we also need a budget amendment for 6E. We need to approve the resolution and the budget amendment. So if we get a motion to approve the budget amendment now.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment.
All in favor? Now. 7A,
7A, so we discussed at the events committee tonight, a budget for festival. If we're looking at doing a 2-day festival, which would be a Friday night from roughly 5 or 6 to 9 o'clock,
That's a grand opening, that's not.
more of a grand opening, and then having the festival on like a 10 to 4 basis on the following Saturday.
Wow.
If we're looking at a 2-day venture, it's probably gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20,000 just in terms of a set budget. One of the questions would be is, do you want fireworks? Is that something we're looking to do? The events committee, we had originally talked about doing a fall festival. But if the park can get finished in time, there would be the ability to move it up into the spring. However, the problem with doing fireworks in the spring is you have HHDA's fireworks for Memorial Day weekend that they normally do. So if you did one in that time frame, you'd have them essentially back to back. So do you want to do fireworks? Do you want to move it to the springtime instead of the fall? Like, and then overall in terms of a budget, just some items to consider. So number 1 was fireworks. Number 2 is band. Any additional costs for React, advertising, pork johns, dumpster rentals, any hired workers you have to have. And then there's one that we haven't really talked a whole lot about, but something like a beer garden or a beer den. And what any costs that are associated with it if you end up wanting to have it. But with all those involved, first of all, do you want the fireworks? Do you want to move it from the fall to the spring, and then where are you comfortable with in terms of setting the budget?
Could they be combined with the Memorial Day cruising?
That's something you could talk to HHCA about, but I don't know.
We were thinking about the 16th and 17th of May. We're trying to get away from Memorial Day and Mother's Day. Because people will be gone, yeah.
Well, if it is that close, probably no fireworks.
yeah.
High school graduations.
Close together.
When the high school goes.
They're close together, they got a firework.
College is only in May, but it's high school in May or in June.
In the May 1st.
In the May 1st of June.
That budget estimate you talked about, does that include the fireworks, or would that be something that's in addition to?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's hard to tell, but if you're looking at doing fireworks, you're probably gonna be closer to 20. Or you would at least wanna put out a budget for 20. If you come in less, absolutely. But given we don't have numbers on the porta johns, the dumpster, band, advertising,
We need a coordinator.
it ended up being some type of coordinator, so,
Last year, the earliest one was May 25th, and that was Burke Middle College.
Okay, so the 16th and 17th should be our
That should be fine.
Is it really necessary to have a 2-day?
We were doing the grand opening on the Friday night. For the grand opening for the park, if y'all wanted the grand opening for the park, and then the festival the next day. If you have food trucks for the, grand opening, then they could stay for the, festival. Unless you wanna have the grand opening another time. Then we have React and everything. We thought it would be more cost efficient to do it one Friday and one Saturday.
I kind of like to do one on Friday, do the opening on Friday and the festival on Saturday of May.
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
we
know
were
the
planning.
fireworks, but- So we would need to approve a motion for up to $20,000 budget.
If you're not doing fireworks, you're probably about with 10 to 15, but if it's 2-day, you know, what are the expectations on the night before? I think are you wanting food trucks and
And
bands, and you want porta johns for 2 days? You want a band. If you're looking to do both for 2 days, yeah, I'd say 15 to 20.
that way you won't have to come back and ask for a budget amendment. Don't anticipate spending all of that, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and have to come back to council.
I don't know, with the grand opening, we might already have some fireworks.
But
With the grand opening, we might already have some fireworks.
We'll send you a stipend to go to South Carolina and bring something.
I've been known to do upset.
Gary,
Take your truck down there and load it up.
we can do that.
Are you looking for a band for both days?
Yes, a band for Friday night and one for Saturday for the festival.
I think we should go ahead and at least work on a business budget thing for it, and then we can fine tune what we want as we get closer, and then, if we do the $20,000, then we'll come in at 10, we're doing good. So, I'll make a motion to approve $20,000 budget for the, park and the grand opening and the festival.
Okay, all in favor?
Sure.
Thank you. Anything else about the festival?
Is there anything the council wants to see at the grand opening of the festival that we haven't talked about? That you want the committee?
Now, what's the actual date you're looking at?
We're looking
You're
at,
talking different ones, so.
May the 16th and 17th. Yeah, that's before Memorial Day, before graduation, after Mother's Day.
What? I really had a good time.
Just some kind of events, even
I'm
something
on
for
vacation.
kids, like a bouncy house or games or something where we bring families in.
Logan, tell them about the ones we're gonna have to come to the top of the committee.
Yeah, there's potentially like an option to have maybe, someone who does this, coordinates it, sets up your vendors, sets up your food trucks. With, bouncy houses, petting zoos, things for kids. So we'd really like to talk to them and kind of see where they stand. But that could save you money, in terms of overall cost, but until we talk to them and see if they're even willing to do it, it's worth pursuing. It's something we'd like to talk to. It's something the events committee asked that maybe next month they come out and speak to them, and see, can they meet our expectations? Are they busy? Do they have time? But it's something to look into.
Who is it?
In the park events, it's an event company.
I have a question. What kind of music are you looking to have?
Hard rock.
Diesel,
Yeah, that's what I want.
that's out of my league. Reason I'm asking the question, there's quite a few people playing bands within our area, and you'll be surprised there'll be some of them would donate their time to play.
Okay,
That's the reason I'm
Logan's
asking.
gonna investigate the bands.
Do what?
Logan's investigating the bands and he'll bring
Well,
it
and
back.
if you've got
I'll tell you somebody to call,
Okay, Logan.
Shane Stamey. He's been playing in bands for quite some time. And Gene Poole. He plays a lot of Southern rock, beach music.
Shane, what was Shane's last
He
name?
covers pretty good variety.
Okay.
How old is Shane?
Shane, you know Shane.
I was gonna say, did I graduate then?
Yeah, I think, I'm gonna be honest with you, they've always had a good band. They put
They
a
have a
band
good
together,
following.
play, and they donate a lot of their time.
Sounds good.
I mean, I'm just thinking cost wise, if you get some of these bands that they'll donate their time,
Absolutely.
you know, you just spread out your band during the day. You don't have to have one band trying to do it all.
Yeah, if we got some that volunteer, then we can get 2 or 3 bands.
And you can get 3 or 4 of them and not have to.
Yeah.
Pay for them out.
Sounds good.
Midlife Crisis is another one that's plays a lot. It's like a three-man deal,
Yeah,
and they've always done well.
okay. Sounds perfect.
I mean, I'm just thinking of cost cutting.
Yeah.
That would be a cost cutter.
Well, and you could have them in your night before and have the main band on your festival day. Plus have another band maybe to open for whoever,
Yeah.
Well, how long is it gonna go on Saturday?
10 to 4
10
is
to
what
4.
we've done in the past.
You're gonna have a band
You don't have
or
that several.
2 to play before your main band plays anyway.
For 6
Because they're not gonna
hours.
come out and play the whole time.
You're probably gonna get a band for what, 2 hours,
And
maybe a
then
little longer.
that we're gonna have other things going on the stage, other activities going on the stage too. It's supposed to be kind of a cultural thing, so maybe have different, like some of the Spanish people come in and listen to Spanish music and stuff, and some different ones. I don't know. Well, that's why we need an
They
events
gonna
coordinator.
talk English.
Let me show you.
Do what? American, that's what they is. I'm sorry, I can't understand you, but
Okay.
All right, that's all with the festival. 7B, June, July facilities report.
We have to vote on that for the budget.
Oh, did we vote?
We didn't vote here
For the
budget.
budget amendment.
I made a motion and we did vote.
Okay.
Okay.
I missed it.
All right, the facilities report is in your packet, if you have any questions. 7C, June, July tax report. That is in the packet also. 7D, 2023 tax settlement. John Bridgers, Burke County Tax Administrator. Can you comment on that? Okay.
No, this was his report, I was trying to look. So we ended up for 2023 collecting, as of the end of July, $329,000 with some change. Whereas in 2022, it was $256,000. So due to the property revaluation, there was that big jump there in collection of property taxes. So it looks like they collected 99.51% of the 2023 taxes.
The 7E delinquent,
So we need to approve his.
okay,
And I did one for the ones that I collected, which is up to 2017, so then we'll approve it.
okay. So y'all wanna make a motion on D?
I'll make a motion to approve the letter from John Bridgers.
Okay, all in favor? All right, now E. You need a motion on that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Y'all make a motion to accept that tax quote for Alice. So,
All in favor? 7F, Order for tax collector to collect property taxes for 2023 and order for tax.
So there's one, there's one for Mr. Bridgers to start collecting for 2024, and then there's one for me to continue with the benefits. So
For
just need a-
2017 and all prior years.
Yes,
Okay. Does that take a motion?
yes, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a motion.
All in favor? June, July deputy reports. Yes, we had two.
511 is US Highway 70, that's food line for everybody.
I was wondering.
Food.
Food line.
Chocolate.
Shoplifting?
Yeah.
Okay, that's in your packet. If you have any questions.
It gets confusing, I know, that's food line.
Gary, I noticed several overdoses at the same address, 100 First Street Northeast.
No, that's, North Center Street.
Okay,
Yeah, that's, Jonathan Britton's house.
is that next?
I know them all by that number. Jonathan Britton. Does everybody remember Mr. Strong's?
Yeah.
Okay, his house beside his.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a personal drug use. Yeah, what they do behind their doors is what they do behind their doors. We cannot control that. But that's where that comes from. Just like drinking. You can drink all you want to, as long as you don't get off and you're not bothering anybody, drink all you want to. It's like same principle goes today. Jared understands what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
If you want to do something bad, you can't do anything about it.
yeah, and then when EMS shows up, they sign a refusal. Nothing you can do. Not a thing you can do. You can't charge them for it. But that's 100. A lot of those addresses you'll see over and over and over. I mean, it's just a pattern. You know, just like used to be 109 US Highway 70 East. Everybody knew that was Lawrence. You've not seen a 109 US Highway 70 East on there in a long time. But now you will see a 304 Main Avenue East Palmview Apartments.
Yeah.
21st century Lawrence. So
Oh,
You see them go by quite often,
Yeah.
that one that way.
I'm kidding you not. Yeah, swap one for the other. Except it's got 162 units. That's why we don't want Section 8 housing. So,
Right there asked about the cat house.
I'm limited on what I can say,
Okay.
as far as 3-letter acronyms. Does everybody understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's above our pay grade.
All right. Okay, we're ready to go into the committee reports. Technical coordinating committee.
Yes, so the TCC met on July 24th. We have another meeting coming up this Wednesday, but business included tip revisions, a congestion management process report, lab application scores, Greenway Public Transit safety performance targets for 2024, and division updates. As a side note, Jody and I met with Avery Ritchie and Daniel Odom of the Council of Governments, along with representatives from NCDOT about the Exit 118 project. So because they're having funding limitations and cost increases for some of the projects in the state, Exit 118 was put on a list as a possible cut. However, after meeting with the people from the COG and NCDOT, it looks like, given how far down the road that project is, they don't think it's going to be cut. So that one still looks to move forward. But that's all I have.
He covered everything.
Okay. All right. Western Pennsylvania Council of Government Policy Board.
The meeting was July 23rd in Morganton. They did an update on the COG building expansion, the Charlotte Interbasin transfer update, the homelessness response team update. That's something that they offer. They'll come out and talk to us about the homeless response team. I think that might be a good idea in the next month or two, that will come out and they can talk about what resources are available to us and to the homeless population. And along with what Logan said, priorities of the transportation projects, according to them, 118 is in the top 10. So they said they did not anticipate it being cut. And in fact, they think that they'll start sometime the first of the year and have it completed by 2026.
And one of the things about that too, I'll add since Ben brought it up, is the timing with it is they're looking to somehow do that project in conjunction with Exit 119. In terms of having the same contractor, same work. I haven't heard that officially in terms of a bid or seen something, but from what I understand, they're looking to do both pretty close at the same time.
Okay, Burke Economic Development.
BDI, so over the last 2 meetings since we last met, BDI's reviewed their year-to-date financials, looked at different types of economic impacts of different types of industry at the Burke mega site. They're still moving forward with the road work into the Burke Business Park and still expect to finish up in the fall. They had a presentation for demographic data within our MSA by Taylor Dellinger from the Western Piedmont Council of Governments. And in terms of the presentation, the biggest takeaway is we're seeing a large number of folks who are working from Mecklenburg County but living in Burke. And they actually think that that may overtake the second largest population basis in terms of where people work in Burke County in the next 10 years. And it mainly has to do a lot with remote work. So these folks are moving into Burke County, but they're working remotely from a company in Charlotte. They may go into work once or twice a week into Mecklenburg County, but so far that's number 4 on the list, but they think it's going to be number 2 within the next 5 years.
Reddick.
Excuse me. That met July the 25th at the Valdez Town Hall. The meeting was called to order by the chairperson, Tanya Stevenson. New board members appointed by Valdez and Gary Ogle were welcome to the board. One new loan was approved for $50,000 for a 15-year term with a 5-year balloon payment at 8.5%. The first 6 months were interest only. They reported that no changes with payments for most clients. Attorney letters were sent for full payment for some past due or no payment loans. Several have responded with payments. So that worked. Thank you. A reflection of the past year was given by Carrie Petit and Eddie Regency. Highlights are as follows. The loan amount and the number of loans for this past year were 19. They were up from last year. The total loans to date, 192 with over $9 million worth of loans. Loan default rate is 4.12%. Loan loss since inception is 1.5%, which is really good. The Rural Center and Golden Leaf grant funds continue to grow, and 52% of the loans that were made to minorities. Carrie will be proceeding with the job description for a new position for a loan officer. Evie Cooper was hired on an on-call helper until a new loan officer is hired. The move to the Old Rock School was discussed. The offices at Valdez Town have been vacated. The phone and computer system are active temporarily at a location at the Old Rock School. The furniture is being stored in the Rock School until the offices are ready in October, so they are working from home. The next meeting is August 26th. Okay. Betty met August 22nd at the Old Rock School in Valdez, and part of the members couldn't even find the way to the room, which was, and Kira gave directions, and they still, all in. The meeting was ordered by Calendar Robert Stevenson. New board members, Randy Stain was welcome to the board. Brian Steen will be replaced on the board by the new interim Valdez town manager at the next board meeting. Kira conducted a financial overview highlighting the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet. Interest income is still on the rise. 4 clients were given technical assistance that month. 5 applications are in the pipeline for new loans. 1 new loan was paid off in full, thanks to the letters. Betty was not approved for the RBRC loan. The board approved setting a new loan lending limit from $100,000 to $250,000. Kira is working on a job description for the new loan officer. She will email that to the board members for suggestion, and the board will approve that at the September meeting. The next board meeting is September the 26th at the Old Rock School.
Okay, Library Board of Trustees, we had our meeting last month. One thing is our library down here, it's our 27th anniversary of being part of the Burke County library system. Also, the library as a whole got 32,000 in ARPA money grant. Our library here got 26,000 in grant money, and that was, much of it was used for study pods. Let's see, they had 1 person to retire, and they got 25 applications. There are 24 volunteers that help with the library. There are lots of library sponsors, lots of programs, including the summer reading program, which is now concluded. The library made $6,000 from book sales, and the Morganton now has security, which is much appreciated by staff and patrons. And events committee. You've heard a lot of that already.
Basically done all that, haven't we?
Yeah, so I gave them the update on the 2 projects. We discussed the festival, the parade, in terms of where we're at with the parade.
The Grand Marshal would contact us. Fran wanted to contact George, and George wants Fran to bid, and Fran wants George to bid. So our suggestion was to ask them both to be Grand Marshals together.
Maybe they do it.
There's that one right in front, one right.
So Logan's going to,
George is very insistent that Brand bid.
They're both humble people.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think both of them would be great. They were 2 Grand Marshals.
I wouldn't ask them, just tell.
Okay, yeah,
Just
you're Brand
tell
Marshal show up today.
Yeah,
All
just, go ahead. Yeah, that would be.
This is why we consult our attorney.
They didn't be there.
Okay, our amendment, did we get to that? Okay. Okay. The building reuse program. Rural Economic Development Division.
Yes, so, Miller Knoll, formerly Geiger, was awarded a $175,000 building reuse grant from, the North Carolina Department of Commerce. Burke County was the applicant mainly, due to the fact that we have 70 grants already, under our umbrella. So, Miller Knoll was awarded $175,000. As part of that, there's a 5% local match requirement. Burke County has agreed to do their half of the 5% as long as we do our half of the 5%. So staff recommends it as long as council's good with it. Total, assuming they create all of the jobs and hit the maximum amount of $175,000, our total match will be $4,375, and that will come out of our economic development fund. And we do need a motion of it.
Make a motion to approve the town's part of the grant.
All in favor? All right, thank you.
Let's go ahead and do a budget amendment for that as well, for the economic development funds.
I'll make a motion for budget amendment.
All in favor? Is there any other business? Is there any announcements?
The Meals on Wheels is needing volunteers, for the Hildebran area, in case, we may put that on the webpage,
Facebook,
Facebook, yeah, well, Facebook, it's on Facebook now.
those members.
Yeah, put it out there.
One other thing, Sharon Elliott did say that, several of her walk and roll members are participating in a fashion show on September 27th at the Hickory Furniture Mart. And it is free to the public, and she would love for as many of us as possible to attend.
On September the 14th, the senior center is having senior day at the senior center. They're gonna have a car show, there are free meal, and they're having lots of booths and having fun things going on.
I thought you said having lots of booze. You said
That's
having
what my
lots of
booths.
booze.
Booths, yeah, well, I don't know about the booths, but they have lots of food.
I'm sorry, I'm not hearing.
Not food.
I have a question.
Sure.
Who bought, Fridays? I heard it was sold out, somebody bought it, and that's reason opened it back up.
I've
Gary,
heard,
we look to you.
I've heard a couple of stories, I'm not gonna repeat them because I don't know if they're true. I've heard investors, I heard David staying on as the cook. Patsy was the only one that stepped down, and, there's two different people I've heard of that have assumed the ownership of it, but I'm not gonna say that because I don't know for sure, and
I was just curious, I heard that she was getting out,
she's out, she did.
and,
So, but there's, I think, one from Longview and possibly one from Burke County that have stepped in and transaction made. David will continue to stay there and some of the staff, that's the word I heard. 2 minutes, as take the uniform off and I'm a citizen. But, so we're gonna spend possibly up to 39,000, given any change orders for the beautification of the breezeway, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, non-functional, just for art to look at.
Yeah, this time because there is no way to enter that breezeway from the upper floor, it will be renovated, in terms of safety and aesthetics, but it's not being built out as a functional walkway right now. If you get to the point where you wanna build something back and make it a walkway, we can do that at that point, but that's not.
Without
When we get that
accessing
stucco-
third floor.
When we get that stucco, how much would it, I'm just wondering, what would it cost for a mural or something? Like, but ain't the Hildebran Royal Park up on there, or something?
Well, we did have the two estimates that Derek turned in from, the one painter, and I think it was 12,000 for the two that were down here, or 15, 12 or 15. Well, 3 of that was landscaping, so I think it was about 13 for those two. Now, this would be larger and taller, maybe more difficult to get to, but we can price it. and
Are they
see.
still planning on doing the replica tower?
It's on hold right now.
Okay, so.
But when we got
Let's get the docket
prices,
down.
well, we got prices to, well, they said in terms of the breezeway, if you wanted to just demo it, 15 to 20. To renovate it, it's 39. But yeah, the last time we got the prices on the tower, it was 700 to 800,000 to build it back.
Is that right now?
Not that.
Mount Hebron will have their homecoming the third Sunday in September. The North Carolina
No.
Synod Bishop Tim Smith will be preaching, so everybody's invited. We'll have dinner afterwards.
And what'd you say the date was?
I think it's the 22nd. It's the third Sunday of the month.
In September.
All right. Anybody else got anything to say? Yes, Ben?
I'll make that motion.
No.
All in favor? Thank you.
I'll start with the, get in touch with it.